All right, our next candidate is Ryan Steele. Ryan is 28 years old and was born in Athens, Ohio. His father has been a park ranger for Ryan's entire life, and his mother has been a computer programmer for the majority of his life. He has lived in Greene County since 1989 and is a 2001 graduate of Xenia High School, and he currently resides in Beaver Creek. He has spent the last 4 years earning a bachelor's degree from Wright State University in liberal arts. During his degree, Mr. Steele majored in religious studies with a focus on early Christianity, which is the first 400 years or so. He also had a minor in philosophy, where he focused on philosophy of religion and philosophy of life. For the last 3 years, Ryan has delivered pizzas in Beaver Creek, and on July 3rd, 2010, he married Laura Britt, his girlfriend of 6 years, becoming, without a doubt, the luckiest man in the world. Good line, my friend. Mr. Steele has no previous political experience. He has never ran for nor held an elective office. Nonetheless, he believes that he does have important job experiences which prepares him for being a U.S. representative, as his experience is in the real world of paycheck to paycheck living, too few hours, and no benefits. In addition to working in fast food, as a third shift gas station clerk, and as a professional dishwasher. He spent about 3 years at Beaver Creek Bureau of Motor Vehicles and a year turning power on and off for Dayton Power and Light in all three 10th District counties. Additionally, he has been an umpire for Beaver Creek Athletic Association for the last 13 summers. Politically, Ryan is formally a libertarian, and this political philosophy still informs his Democrat liberal policies. Ryan proudly calls himself a philosopher, and he desires to bring rationality back to Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Steele.
Good evening, everyone. My throat is just a little sore if my vocal quality isn't quite on. I don't know how it sounds to you, but I can't hear anything. But I do want to thank everyone for holding this, for coming out here tonight, the Tea Party for holding this event. It's the only official chance I get to speak in Fayette County to the voters in a forum like this, so I do really appreciate it. I must say, it's nice to be back in Washington Courthouse. As my bio stated, I used to turn power on and off for DP&L right here in the area. Worked out of Washington Courthouse primarily, so I've been all around Courthouse, Jeffersonville, Octa, Bloomingburg. I've been to every neighborhood, every street in this city. It's definitely a pleasure. Though, given the surroundings with the Tea Party, I must say, as a Democrat, I feel a little bit like Daniel in the Lion's Den. But I think I'll be all right. As also my bio said, I'm a former libertarian, and this is linked with my time in Fayette County and my time working for DP&L, because I say that prior to working for DP&L, I called myself a libertarian, proudly held to the majority of the Libertarian Party beliefs. And then I spent a year working for DP&L. And primarily there, I turned power on and off of people who were moving, which was fine. Somebody wanted their power turned off, I'd go turn it off. Somebody wanted it on, I'd turn it on. Sometimes, though, I had to perform as a collections agent, which means I had to knock on people's doors and say, I need $250 or whatever it was, or I have to shut your power off today. And after a year of doing that, I was no longer a libertarian. Something had changed because I had seen the real world a little bit. That I grew up a lot during that year. I saw people struggle, and I was part of a system that was hurting those people. I was knocking on doors of people who couldn't afford to pay their electric bill, and there it was turning off their electric. Which, by the way, it costs more to turn your electric back on if you've never been through that process. So I would say that that's a big reason that I got into this race, that I'm formally that. I do not want to make any qualms. I am not a libertarian anymore. But I believe in limited government. I think that's an American belief, but without a doubt, that's libertarians like to talk about limited government. I think we just sometimes disagree on what the limits should be. I believe in personal freedom, individual responsibility. Without a doubt, these are important. But we also have to take care of one another. That's what a society is about. If you want to talk about being involved in a social contract, which as a philosopher I care very much about, the social contract. Why do you and I work together and enter into this? It's so that we can help each other. so that we won't let people starve to death, so we don't let people freeze to death, and by God, so that we don't let people die of curable diseases. That is ridiculous. This is the most powerful nation on this planet. It is the richest nation on this planet. There is no excuse for a single person to die of a curable disease or with an operation that could be given to them, except, oh, you don't have the money or the insurance. That is a shame, and every person who calls himself an American should be ashamed of that fact. And that's the way it is right now. I'd like to change that. There are a lot of things that I would like to be part of changing. There are a lot of issues in this nation that need to be taken care of. But there's one that I really want to talk about: gridlock. And the reason I want to talk about that is that it does not matter what your problem is. It does not matter what our nation's problems are until we figure out, as a society, and most specifically in Washington, D.C., how to work together, how to operate in that forum and come to consensus, compromise, make things happen. We will not solve any one of your problems, any one of my problems, any one of the nation's problems. It will take getting over the way we do things right now. Business as usual can't stand. But you know what? We shouldn't be mad at Washington for the way it functions right now. It's our fault. We sent them there. And we haven't been holding them accountable because we keep sending them back. We keep sending, and if we don't send the individual, we just send somebody else. We send another CEO. We send another lawyer. We send another person who's been involved in politics locally and is, sure, they know the system. I'm a rookie. I know that. I might be a little naive. I accept that. But I tell you, that's exactly what we need right now. If you're unhappy with the way things in Washington have been working, it's time to send someone new. I think that's the end of my time. I appreciate it very much. I look forward to your support in the Democratic primary if you're voting in that. And if not, if I'm the nominee, hopefully you support me in November. Thank you.